someone paid $4 million for a dented Mustang and $18 million for a Ferrari that barely touched the road. Thoughtful Mecum Auctions has seen some of the wildest sales in car history, from rare classics to custom-built concepts to movie icons. Today, we're counting down the 10 most expensive cars ever auctioned at Mecum that'll make you seriously rethink what a car is worth. And trust me, you'll want to see the number one that broke every record. 1930, Ruxton Model C Roadster. Only 7 cars like this exist in the world. That's right, this 1930 Ruxton Model C Roadster, sold for $1,540,000 at Mecum's auction, is one of just 7 ever made with coachwork by Baker Rowlang. This beauty comes from a time when car design was daring. Built by New Era Motors, a branch of Moon Motor Car Company, the Ruxton stood out for one big reason. It had front-wheel drive, a massive innovation back in the late 1920s. It was engineered by the famous racer William J. Mueller. This specific car has a long list of famous past owners, including SCCA co-founder D. Cameron Peck and the prestigious Black Hawk collection. It became part of the Cliff Ernst collection in 1995. It's also an award winner, earning top honors like the AACA National First Prize and CCCA Senior Premier Award. It even graced the lawns of the 2014 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. 1953, Hirohata Merc, custom 1951 Mercury. Bob Hirohata's 1951 Mercury, customized by the Barris shop, went under the hammer and ultimately sold for $2,145,000, including the buyer's commission. Built by the famous Barris brothers, George and Sam, for Bob Hirohata. They chopped the roof lower, removed the middle pillars, lowered the frame, and gave it a smooth, low look that became a trend for years. The paint was a bold 2-tone mix of ice green and organic dark green. Big scoops were added to the sides, the front grille was handmade, and Lincoln taillights were added at the back. Under the hood, it had a powerful Cadillac engine, which is why people called it the Mercilac. Inside, it had custom seats and knobs made by Hirohata himself. Famous artist Von Dutch even painted the dashboard. The car won awards, was on magazine covers, and appeared in the 1955 movie Runnin' Wild. After years in storage, it was fully restored, and now it's worth millions, as we all know. 2004, Ford Shelby Cobra concept. This one-of-a-kind concept car that was developed by Carroll Shelby and Ford as a modern version of the original Cobra, sold for $2.6 million. It was built on a custom aluminum space frame and powered by a 6.4-liter V10 engine with 605 horsepower. It was never meant for regular roads. It came with a 6-speed manual transmission from the second-generation Ford GT. Shelby himself drove the car for over 150 miles at Irwindale Speedway at age 81. Chris Theodore, former VP of Product Development at Ford, bought the car in 2017 for $825,000 and restored it. The proceeds helped restore Henry Ford's Fair Lane estate. The car appeared in Jay Leno's garage and the movie Triple X, State of the Union. It also featured in the award-winning book The Last Shelby Cobra. It is officially listed in the Shelby Registry and sold with full documentation, including a letter of authenticity from Ford. 1967, Chevrolet Corvette L88 Coupe. This might be the most decorated Corvette ever sold at Mecum. The 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88 Coupe went for $2.25 million, and many believe it was a steal. Only 20 L88 Coupes were made that year, and this is the only one in Sunfire Yellow with its original engine still intact. It is triple diamond certified, carries the Duntov Mark of Excellence, and holds the NCRS Top Flight Award. That's basically every top honor a Corvette can get. The car was part of the legendary L88 Explosion display at Bloomington Gold and won MCACN Concours Gold and Celebrity Pick in 2018. It also comes with its original trim tag, tank sticker, sales contract, and even the original title. The restoration took 10 years, and since then, it's only been driven 361 miles. Renowned Corvette judge Mark Donnelly has confirmed its authenticity. even though another L88 sold for $3.85 million in 2015. This one went for much less, making it one of the smartest buys at Mecum. 1968. Ford Mustang GT Fastback, Bullitt hero car. Someone paid nearly $4 million for a used car with dents and rust. But wait, this wasn't just any car. It was the 1968 Ford Mustang GT Fastback, driven by Steve McQueen in Bullitt, which is the most iconic movie car chase ever filmed. At Mecum's 2020 auction in Kissimmee, this legend sold for $3.74 million, setting the record for the most expensive Mustang ever sold. This was the hero car, seen flying through the streets of San Francisco in a 10-minute chase that changed Hollywood forever. Only one other version exists, but that one is a rebuilt wreck. This chassis 559 is the real deal, with original dents, camera mounts, and even letters from Steve McQueen himself, who once begged to buy it back. Its journey is just as wild. From a Warner Brothers employee to a detective, to a New Jersey family who drove it daily, with Great Danes in the back, this car lived a full life before disappearing for 40 years. It re-emerged at the 2018 Detroit Auto Show, untouched and unpolished. As Mecum put it, this wasn't just a car, it was the Mona Lisa of Mustangs. 1964, Ford GT40 prototype. 5 minutes. That's all it took for the bidding war in Texas to explode for this rare 1964 Ford GT40 prototype, which sold for $7 million at Mecum's Houston auction. We are talking about only the 4th GT40 ever built, and the second oldest one still in existence. It played a key role in Ford's early fight against Ferrari. GT/104 started off in 1964 at the MIRA test track in England, clocking just 50 miles before being shipped off to Le Mans. Unfortunately, it caught fire and had to be retired. But this prototype kept coming back. It raced at Nassau, Daytona, Sebring, Monza, and even Nürburgring. It didn't always finish, but it kept showing up. In 2010, GT40 expert Paul Lanzanti restored it to its original Daytona spec. Lighter body, Colotti gearbox, 4.7-liter Shelby engine, and everything brought back to how it once was. Even without a big win, this GT40 still stole the show, as Mecum raked in $33.5 million from the sale. 1966, Ford GT40, Mark I road car. This exact car was the first GT40 delivered to a private owner, handed over by none other than Jackie Stewart in March 1966. After a few years, it started racing across England and Australia, later getting repainted in the iconic Gulf colors of the Le Mans winning GT40. In 1999, it even took the win at the Stuttgart Grand Prix at Hockenheimring. It was later returned to its original pine green with silver stripes and remained a showpiece in the Bowden collection, appearing in magazines and TV. It still has its original body panels, tub, and 5-speed manual gearbox, which is extremely rare. With just 44,682 miles on it, it fetched $7.04 million. And I think this car is pure gold for collectors. 1965. Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe. Imagine spending over $7 million on a car and still calling it a bargain. That's exactly what happened when the 1965 Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe sold for $7.25 million, setting a new record as the most expensive American car ever auctioned. Only 6 of these masterpieces were ever built by Carroll Shelby and his team, and this one is the most celebrated of them all. Driven by Bob Bondurant, it won the World Manufacturers' Championship in 1965, making Shelby the first American constructor to beat the European giants on their own ground. And perfectly enough, it happened on July 4th. Years later, Bondurant drove the same car across the stage at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, where it sold for $7.25 million after failing to meet its reserve at a prior auction. Though expected to fetch up to $15 million, the price was seen as a steal, especially for a car once used daily by a gas station owner for a 300-mile drive to collect receipts. Dana Mecum summed it up best. No car can claim a finer race hour than the Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe CSX 2601. 1969, Ford GT 40 lightweight coupe. Only 10 were ever made, and this one never even raced at Le Mans. Yet, it still became one of the most valuable American cars when it crossed the block and sold for $7,865,000. Even though it didn't compete in major races like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, it's the same ultra-rare model that brought Ford its legendary back-to-back Le Mans wins in 1968 and 1969. It still houses the rebuilt 289 cubic inch Gurney Westlake 5, 8-engine and 5-speed manual gearbox it left the factory with. The body and chassis are original too. It rides on its original date-coded Firestone race tires and was authenticated by GT40 expert Ronnie Spain. It even appeared at the 2023 Quail Motorsports Gathering, and this proves that some legends never age. They just get more expensive. 1963. Ferrari 250 GTSWB California Spider. It made Mecum history. The 1963 Ferrari 250 GTSWB California Spider became the most expensive car ever sold at a Mecum auction when it went for an unbelievable $17,875,000 at Kissimmee 2024 in Florida. This was Mecum's first car to cross the $10 million mark and ranks as the third most expensive SWB California Spider ever sold at public auction. This specific Ferrari was the last of just 55 short wheelbase California Spiders ever built, completed on February 9, 1963. It featured the rare covered headlights and came with Ferrari Classiche certification and a detailed report by Marcel Massini, a respected Ferrari historian. It still carried its original 3.0-liter Colombo 512 engine and 4-speed gearbox. Imported by Luigi Cinetti Motors and sold in San Francisco, the car was later fully restored by Patrick Otis in Berkeley, California. With tool roll, manuals, and a known ownership history from day one, this car with chassis number 4137 GT came with everything collectors dream of. If you think this lineup was wild, wait till you see the other auctions we've covered. They might just prove you wrong. Check them out, comment your favorite pick, and hit subscribe for more insane collections and record-breaking sales coming your way.